In a world where the paranormal meets the preposterous, where ghostly whispers echo through the abandoned arcades, and every creaky floorboard might just be a clue, two bravish souls dare to investigate the mysteries no one else will touch.
Boo-Foons, mystery investigators.
Hey there, mystery lovers and mischief makers. I'm Steve.
And I'm Dan, together with the Boo-Foons Mystery Investigators, your guides through the weird, the wild, and the wonderfully unexplained.
Each week, we dive headfirst into bizarre tales, haunted happenings, and conspiracy theories so strange they'll make your nan's ghost stories sound like bedtime lullabies.
We're talking cursed vacuum cleaners, psychic pigeons, haunted theme parks, and maybe, just maybe, a few real clues along the way.
So grab your flashlights, your EMF detectors, and maybe a snack, because things are about to get weird.
This is the Boo-Foons Mystery Investigators, where the only thing scarier than the truth is how much fun we're having finding it. Welcome to the Boo-Foons Mystery Investigators. I'm Dan.
I'm Steve.
And today we are joined by loads of special guests. And last week's episode, you would have heard Steve and I talking about a ghost hunt that we went on from our perspective. And we teased you, and you've been waiting a whole week to hear from all the other people that were with us. Now, we're with the team that we mainly went around with, apart from one person who sort of was dipping in and out and was involved in a different way in the ghost hunt, which will be explained a bit later. So around the room, we've got John from Odd Trots. Hi, John.
Hello. That was my spooky hello. I hope you appreciated it.
We've got Ben or Score.
Hello.
We've got Sebastian.
Hello.
And we've got Cliff. And I can't remember what you're from, Cliff. I've written it down and I've lost the piece of paper.
Don't worry.
Under
no one else can
consultation
as well.
pod. See, I remember these things.
See,
And N64 Live podcast on Twitch.
Thank you, John. Appreciated. But
That's all right.
hello, all.
Need some professionalism around here.
You are back. You've got the hat on, you know. It's a professional hat. That was a gummy. She has a different one for every mood.
And finally, we've got Dan from Dan Does with us.
Hello, as a skeptic. Hello.
Yeah, so Dan has joined us. Although he wasn't in our team as we went around the ghost hunt, Dan has joined us because he's very much a skeptic, still very much a skeptic. And you were actually there to film, to help Paul and Sanya actually film the full video. So would you like to explain a bit more of how you were involved in the ghost hunt in a slightly different way to the rest of us?
I wasn't really involved at all. I just arrived like the rest of you. And then they decided to do a jump scare and involve me. And that was pretty much it.
Which is, yeah, they built that. The whole night was
The
built
whole
up for that,
night.
wasn't it? That's the only
Around
reason
the
they were
jump
there.
scare.
That was it.
Yeah.
But you are here because you are the ultimate skeptic. I mean, no matter what was being said, other people said, "Oh yeah, I don't believe, but oh, I don't believe this, but oh yeah, but it would be nice too." And you're just like, "This bollocks."
Well, no.
That's
I think I was more eloquent than that, Steve.
Oh,
I think I would give reasons for being bollocks. I like to disprove it because I find it very easy to disprove all of it.
Yeah.
well, to be honest, I think everybody here will agree that's how we started off the evening. I know I did.
Yes, definitely.
Every one of us, as far as we're concerned, everybody that was interviewed on the night, everybody said they were a skeptic, without exception, I think. But,
Although, Seb, I believe you're not as skeptic as the rest of us, though.
Am I not? I think I'm quite a skeptic.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
you've
just because I've had stuff that I really can't explain. I've had what I would, some people would say is ghostly encounters and supernatural encounters. I still sit there and go, there's only one common link through all those. and that's I was there. So I do look back at it and go, well, is it something to do with me rather than something to do with something else?
Can I just say that we're all skeptics, or we were skeptics, but my favourite line from the night was when Steve says, I'm a skeptic, but there's been certain things I've experienced. And then Biffo said, what's that? And you went, it's a ghost, which I thought was really funny.
I saw a ghost, yeah. True, though. Saw a ghost. Yeah, it's simple as that. And I can't believe we saw a ghost.
Yeah, and I can verify. Steve told me the story of him seeing the ghost that he saw on Dartmoor. And then I was sitting at a movie night at Steve's, and Steve just casually said, without prompting or preloading his friend, he goes, tell Dan about that ghost that we saw. That's all he said. And then Steve's friend went word for word of what Steve had experienced in the thing. Almost like it was scripted, apart from one thing, which Steve said it was a blur, whereas his friend is adamant it was a woman.
I thought you were going to say an oasis.
But you'll find out from this, we don't script anything, and I wouldn't bother scripting that. We've never scripted anything in my life.
Well, the only bit that we script is normally the story to start with, where we found the story and done the research in it, and then everything else is just unscripted.
If you're lucky, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yes, let's talk about the evening then. Who wants to start? Does anybody else want to start of what we saw that night?
I think Cliff should go through it because he's the ghost whore.
I'm the
He's
ghost
the main character. Yeah.
Yeah,
What is the ghost
everything
whore?
because you're just flaunting yourself around.
Yeah. But it was a school. You shouldn't do that in a school.
Yeah. And we've seen the
of all
videos,
places.
Come and play with me.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Oh, now
mate.
I don't like the come and play with me in a school. No.
You did, though. Would you like to play with me? Do you want to play dominoes?
That was to the headmaster, not to the kids.
Oh, right. Okay. Is that why you talk to the headmaster like a child?
No, I didn't.
No, to be fair, he got very aggressive with him in his toilet.
Yeah.
When he wouldn't show up.
Yeah.
And that's how he got to be a prefect. Yeah. You
and
did.
That banging noise was definitely me trying to summons him and nothing else in the toilet. Thank you. Yeah, because I think Dan said when we were off mic earlier, he was like saying about how I was talking to them. And it was like me trying to almost talk to a child. Because I thought, because at the end of the day, I don't believe they were ghosts, but the experience of it was incredible. And I sort of said in a bit that Biffo cut out when me and Tom were chatting at the end.
I think bitter the way you said
that. A little bit, because I only talk a little bit, And I think that it's one of those things that if you go into one of these wanting to see something, then you will. And we've all been sat here sort of having a chat of what could it have been? Could it have been the spirit box? Could it have been this? And that's what I've been doing. And it's so funny, Seb was saying a minute ago about that thing of, was it something that I did? And obviously I have now gained the nickname, the Ghost Whisperer. I do think to myself, was it something that I did all on something on me? I had a smartwatch, I had a phone, I had the spirit box. And even during
I just want to interrupt there very quickly, because when you were doing it, I was also like holding items, or items were on the floor. The things that were responding to it weren't always necessarily with you. So I mean, don't put yourself down like that, Cliff. You still do have supernatural powers. Don't worry.
But also, don't make yourself that important.
Yes, you're a bit main character, Cliff.
No, I'm not.
It was me.
It's all me. It's me. No.
2 podcasts Foster.
But I agree with Seb, like that thing of that you do think to yourself, what did I do to trigger it? Was it the electrical in the wall? Because we did see stuff, without sort of jumping the gun here. We did see things. We did see reactions. We did see reactions to talking. We did see moments that as we came away from, we still can't explain, even though we've had 2 weeks to try and dissect this. No one can actually say fundamentally what it was, even though Dan loves to do that. That's Dan's favorite thing to do. There wasn't anything fundamentally apart from asbestos that we could say 100% it was that.
And that's why Dan says it's not, though.
I've tried to pitch it to people because friends have asked me, what was it like and what happened? Was it creepy? And I said, weirdly, no, I didn't feel remotely creeped out by any of this.
100%.
But what I've said is, if you think that an EMF reader and an EVP reader can communicate with another side, with the supernatural, I'll build you a case that I witnessed an engagement with a ghost. But I'm not sure I believe that those two tools could communicate with something if something was there. So I don't know what I saw. But it was the cycle or the order with which some of the events happened were just, I don't really understand, and I can't explain what they are, because if the readers were just going off the scale all the time, that's what they would have been doing. But they weren't. It was weird at very specific times.
Yeah. What I see is that you've got the girls' corridor, as they call it, that bit up there, which was full of, as we said, like insulation, asbestos, some electricals, not just like on the roof, but also all the way downstairs, all the lighting and everything, and that is in the rooms downstairs, kitchen possibly, and then you've got the bunker where things happened, and that was crazy. And you think, well, this is really old. There can't be anything there. But it is possible that it's right against the wall that is adjoined to another newer building. Could be something coming from there, a wireless frequency or something. And then suddenly on an isolated house, which is a headmaster's, not a lot happened. It does kind of make you think there. I mean, at the end of Paul and Sanya's video, I did say that afterwards already, I kind of went, I think I just, it's a nice experience. It's like you get yourself all hyped up, and because you're around a group of people who are also getting excited, and it's great. It's fun to enjoy that excitement, and I'd do it again. It's great, but I don't think I've come back going, oh well, that's a ghost.
Yeah,
you want to be the person that says something happened. That's the thing, as well.
What I would say to that, though, is, like I said, the room we were all in with, we started in, there was 30 people in, or 28 people in there. Everybody had phones. There was all the lights, all the equipment. There were burglar alarms everywhere. There was Wi-Fi routers, and the readers were not going off in there. Also, you had all these people who could have had mass hysteria, but there was nothing came from there. Everybody said the same thing. Everybody said there was nice and calm evening. Nobody felt scared or spooked at any point. People were in dark rooms by themselves. Nobody felt threatened. But everybody together in that room full of electrics, and not one EMF meter went crazy. Then we go into a bunker under the ground, solid walls around it, lights, only one light above us, no other electricity in the place, no alarms, and they go crazy. It doesn't make sense. And also, if it was faulty equipment, if it was a phone, if it was something, we were all there all the time. They should have been doing that in every room, in every classroom we went to, and it didn't.
When we were in the headmaster's house, we still have
just
the same equipment.
2 locations, that was it. And nobody else experienced this, and they had the same kind of equipment as we did. Same groups, same phones, same hysteria, not the same results.
I love with the headmaster's house that everyone was like, it's the most haunted area, and we got cool in there. It was nothing at all.
Not even a sausage. Dan did scare me in that house, by the way.
I heard about this afterwards. Yeah,
I went in with the glow stick on my own, and I was going up there, and it's freaky as hell. Do you remember they had like the what was it, the bust things, for the with the clothes draped over it.
Yeah.
And with the glow stick, it was terrifying. And then trying to, looking around the baby's cot and things. Then suddenly I could just hear this.
No, I was actually doing this. That
was it.
And you like, hello?
It was like, hello?
Brilliant. How come we didn't hear about this before?
Yeah, I didn't know that. But
you kept that quiet, John.
Well,
there's a reason.
I said to Steve the other day when we recorded the other episode that it's the headmaster's house. You said about the thing dressed up as the maid. When I was in there, so I had 2 moments where I almost fully believed in ghosts and then immediately disproved it. One of them was going into that headmaster's house with that night vision camera I had and suddenly seeing a figure and going, what on earth is that? And I can't. And one of you was behind me at that point. It might have been Steve. I can't remember which of you it was. And I suddenly then put my torch on and then went, "Oh, it's that thing." And then I can't remember which of you it was, but one of you went, "Didn't you see that earlier?" I was like,
Yeah.
"No, I didn't notice it earlier." And the other moment was in the the monitorial classroom. You had the 2 classrooms to the side. Steve was in one of those classrooms, and he was trying his best Venkman impression of playing with the piano to scare a ghost, and I'm in the other classroom sort of going through, and it's just me in there and I'm looking through the night vision camera to see what I can see, and then suddenly I'm reciting some multiplications because I was like, surely there's kids in here, they're going to start doing it. And yeah, I was showing off, to be fair.
We're up to the sevens.
And as I panned round, a child appeared out of nowhere, and I was like, "What? There's a child!" Torch on again. It was a poster on the wall of what a Victorian child looked like.
Oh my god!
It scared the crap out of me. I just sat there and watched it. It was so funny.
I did appreciate in the headmaster's house. I think it was it me and Sebastian? We end up spending 15 minutes staring at a bed, effectively, just with an EMF meter on it. And in the end, you just kind of went, "Shall I leave you to it?" And just closed the door. I just went, "Yeah, please." And I just sat there staring at a bed. Meanwhile, I could hear Cliff waking up every single person in Hitchin outside because he's gone into a toilet.
and wasn't alone.
Yeah.
Not the first time, won't be the last.
What I found odd about the headmaster's house was that, like everyone's saying, everyone's going, "This is where the ghosts are." But I walked into that room when we did the tour, when we went in as part of our team. I just walked in and went, "I like this place. I feel comfortable here."
It felt so cozy in that parlour.
It really did, and that parlour was lovely. And actually, watching the video back, watching Paul and Sonia's video back, they go through the kitchen. Something that I hadn't picked up in the kitchen was there's a chair that's almost identical to a chair that is, I can visualise where it is. It's in a house in Oxfordshire with my parents. It was exactly the same style of chair that I grew up with in my living room, that there was this wooden chair in the background. I just felt really comfortable in that room. I could live in that room quite happily.
I remember setting the camera up. Oh, go on.
So I was just going to say, Seb, I love the way you described there's a chair in a house with my parents. Does that mean it's your parents' house or just the house your parents are kept hostage in?
It's the latter, but I don't go into too much of that because it's like in America.
It's the one they used to sit in when they held up today's newspaper to a camera.
Yeah, that's that chair.
That chair. Yeah.
No, I described that really badly. I grew up, there was a chair in my house. In the house I grew up in, it's still in my parents' house, and it was identical to the chair that was sitting in the kitchen. And I only saw that when I watched the video back and went, I mean, it's an East London built wooden chair from the probably 1920s. It's millions of
Feels like home. Feels like home.
Feels like home.
There was a lovely chair in the parlour in the corner. I remember setting the camera up while you were all sitting around there when Cliff did his dominoes bit. Oh, I just sunk into it. I could have sat there all night.
Yeah. Then you left the room without telling anyone.
Oh, yeah.
You left the room without telling anyone, left your coat behind and looked like you'd evaporated.
Yes.
Everyone goes, "Where did he go? He just disappeared."
I was going to say, when I saw the maid's dress, I sort of thought, I've got that dress. This feels like home.
Talking about dressing up and all that, one of my highlights the whole evening was obviously we had the bits in the corridor. We go to the second room and we're really not picking up anything in there. And then Ben just going to be going, "I found the fancy dress." And literally he's got like this Mary Poppins hat on.
That hat.
Which is this green suede hat with some flowers on it. And I was like, ooh, and I got myself it was like a cape, wasn't it? Got myself a cape and some fancy dressed up, strolling around, putting on a very sort of Matt Berry voice going, good evening, ghosts, like that. It was, that was possibly one of the best
School
times.
looks part Victorian, part Midsummer.
I'm that wealthy landowner that's definitely done the murder.
The other group didn't feel it was the appropriate attire to be donning during that. I don't think there was a lot of disproving stares. So I'm just trying to make them feel comfortable.
Yeah, there was a general feeling that everyone seemed to think that our group was the group that wasn't taking it seriously, yet we were the only group that experienced anything weird.
Oh, no. I thought your group was taking it too seriously. If
You
anyone.
even said that in the
At the
video.
beginning of
You
it,
didn't
I
see
think
me
it
in the
was-
hat,
Was
Dan.
it Paul? Was it Paul or TJ? I can't remember. One of them said, "The kids at the back, could you be quiet?"
Yeah.
I think that's why TJ came down with us when we went to the bunker, because he wanted to see if we were taking it seriously or not. Then the bunker stuff happened. Then the bomb shelter stuff happened. It was just, I just wanted to make sure. But there were some of the other groups did say they did witness a couple of things, didn't they? There was one of the groups said they heard a knocking on the door when they were sitting in one of the classrooms doing the times table. The door knocked like 4 times. There was no one there. They asked everybody else, did you knock on the door? Everyone said no.
Yeah.
I think that was
I
Kathy
could-
on her own, wasn't it? I can't. No, it was Kathy and Kathy's partner. I think it was.
Yeah, there were 2 people, they said.
Yeah.
Was
But
was
that could be
before or
explained.
after?
It was Kathy's partner, and then the 2 American guys were in there with them.
Oh yeah.
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 Was
So
that
these
before
stories
or
get
after Biff?
misconstrued.
Yeah,
That was just
or
before
after
we were waiting
Biffo sent me
outside.
scouting.
Well, we were waiting outside ready to do
Yeah.
the what's that thing.
Yeah.
And so it could have been the floorboard or something of us standing out there that she heard.
Yes.
Could have been.
So, a
because
knock
we
on
were
the
out
door
there for a
could have-
good 5 or 10 minutes waiting.
And didn't
Yeah.
somebody else say that they? Didn't somebody else say that they heard voices and one of them said their daughter's name? I'm sure that somebody said that as
It
well.
was
Do you remember that?
one of those ghost box apps.
It was a ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
I can't remember
yeah,
whose
they-
name
99.
it was. They said, but they went, "Oh, it's on my desk." Like someone's written that name on the desk, and then it said blue, and they went, "It's written in blue pen."
Yeah.
It's like, but I think
Yeah.
that's one of those ones. It reminded me of Mystic Meg predicting a lottery winner.
Yeah.
It's that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
It's also the Doctor Who, because I remember I think Matt Smith's Doctor Who turned around and said, "I love the human race. They try and find patterns in everything."
Yes,
And it is that thing.
exactly.
And those spirit boxes, I think we had Jeff join us at that point as well. And he had one of the ones on his phone. He was like, "Look, it captures the picture of the ghost," and it was a figure. And I went, "Oh, great! I'm being stalked by the Silver Surfer." And
Yeah.
it was, and it very much takes it's creating AI images. It was just creating basic AI images, and I think that those, especially the phone spirit boxes, all they're doing is just keep picking up keywords. What you're saying, it is literally that.
They
You can
cost
tell.
Absolutely.
£2.99. £2.99 to prove the existence of ghosts.
Because Jeff was there and we said something like, "Okay, it's time to go now," and literally 2 seconds later, it's "Don't leave."
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
Yeah,
that.
it picked up the word "we're going to go." It's
Yeah.
it's
I
quite clear.
want to ask this. I can understand the EMF. If there was like a ghostly presence, then maybe them just being nearby would affect, like, the magnetic waves, or whatever. How the F are we? Do they know how to control a voice box? If I was a ghost, I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't know how to pop myself in that box and go through the files and
'cause
find the right words.
If you look fundamentally how a spirit box works when it's a radio spirit box like the ones that I have, basically what it's meant to do is it says that it's almost like a break in the sound, an increase to the sound. So it's literally just skipping through radio waves. And then obviously at the end of your sentences, if voices come back to you, that is almost a way of them distorting what's happening on there. So that's
So they
the theory.
pick when to stop it and start. Did you ever try and record the charts when you was a kid? Or did you still-
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
Or when you used to do that thing of holding the pause button, so the voice would go really, really squeaky, like Alvin and the Chipmunks. But I think that with those applications, that is
The apps
literally,
are
as
quite
you said,
easy. It picks up sound, like it takes an analog sound, and then the ghost just comes along and converts it to digital. like your old adapters you'd have for your telly.
What codec do
They
they use?
have to sign in, don't they? To Apple.
MPEG.
They have
So much
signing
easier these
codes as
days.
well, like the AV radios.
Yeah.
Actually, Dan, we went back into the corridor with Jeff later on with his little box, and we went back to where we had encountered the first weird scenario. And all I remember from his little $2.99 app is it just started going purgatory.
Yeah.
And I eventually just turned around and went, I believe in ghosts more than I believe in purgatory. So it's like, I'm not buying this. I'm not buying this at all.
I have to ask you a question, Seb. When we were up there earlier, did you hear Dan say where he felt a cold spot in one of the corridors? Did you see that? Were you there when he was talking about the cold spot?
I don't remember him. I don't remember him talking about it. I know I went back up there and felt that there was a cold spot where.
That's it. And that's the weird thing as well. I was with Dan, and I think somebody else was with us, and and he was talking about this cold spot where he was standing, and he was talking about it. I don't think you were there. Then later on, when we went up with Jeff at the end of the day, you were with me, and you said you felt a cold spot in exactly the same place. There was no cold spot. It didn't feel cold for me at all.
I'm going to go Dan does on this, and I would say that's all confirmation bias.
But no, he wasn't there.
No,
this
I was.
Well, the thing that wasn't there with Dan.
I'm not going to disagree with you about confirmation bias. By that time, I think I was up at about 6:30 that morning, and by that time it was about 1:45. I was knackered. I was absolutely exhausted.
I would say
I just
I
driven
did
300 miles.
because I had joined you in the corridor at that point because you were standing, the two of you were standing there with Jeff nearby in the exact spot that I had said to you earlier, Steve. There's a really weird feeling in this very specific spot. And I remember you and I earlier on that evening had looked to see if the windows, and we felt all the windows, to see if there was a draft. And if you moved ever so slightly out of that exact spot, I didn't feel anything. You didn't feel anything standing there, and you stood there for quite a period of time. And then when you moved out and I went back in, I went, no, there's still something weird here. And then when you guys went up later, I had come up after you, and you were standing exactly there. And Seb, you went, there's a really weird feeling here. And I was like, well, that's weird, because that's the exact same spot I had stood in earlier and said there's a weird sort of cold feeling here.
It was weird because I felt it on the outside of both arms. It was very, very weird, but it's also it's Cliff. This is where you were starting your race. It was the same spot where you were starting your race
by the fire extinguisher on the wall.
And the fire escape in the room next to us,
and the access hatch on the roof.
Yes, that was it. Score. Yeah, we looked at it and we noticed that there was an open door to another room next to us. Directly above us, there was like an access hatch or a loft.
Yeah, it was like a loft.
So it was obviously an air current.
Yes,
which means it was legitimately a cold spot. So
only two people felt it.
I run hot.
The insulation was terrible in the whole place. So with the heat vision, the corners of the room.
It was so hot though.
It was all that asbestos keeps you nice and warm.
Yeah.
Like you said as well, it was 2 a.m. That is when most ghosts are reported 2 and 3 in the morning because people are half asleep and because it's half light. And that's when most reports happen.
Whereas the witching hour, it goes right back to medieval times where you'd go to sleep at sunset and then you'd wake up around 1-2 o'clock in the morning, and that's the point where you'd do something like read the Bible or some sort of basic chore or eat something.
Still do that.
And then you'd then go back to sleep again. Which it's funny you say that, Steve. I've recently found out it is a bit of an ADHD thing because I do the exact same thing, and I was looking into it and then found out
read the Bible.
Well, not read the Bible. We don't.
I'm sure it's just because you get older, you need a piss in the middle of the night, so you get up.
Yeah,
and then the problem is once I'm up, and I can't do anything. Then I'll start finding something to read or.
I leapt out of bed last night because I had a cramp. I had to stand up.
Oh God! Hopping on one leg.
Cramp. Sorry, I thought you said he had a crap in the bed. Sorry.
It's my bed. It's my prerogative, but no, it was a cramp.
It was because he was dreaming of the unknown and got scared again.
Yeah, but where the cold spot was is where the unknown jumped him.
It
There's
is.
any doorway
What a
you could jump out.
coincidence.
Yeah.
And it's also where the spirit box that Cliff saw made the Silver Surfer.
It's all
It's
comes
all
full
coming
circle.
together.
Wasn't the Unknown's mask silver?
There
Yes.
you go.
It was.
It preempted it,
Okay.
Jeff.
And written in
preempted it.
blue pen.
There
What
we
about
go.
the other? There
Confirmed,
was still
ghosts are real.
one more unexplained thing about that corridor, though, was the door we were told not to go into, and it was
Yeah.
locked.
Yeah.
And I spoke to the guy at the end, and I said, "Have you been in the building? Did you go up to the office? Did you open the door?" And he said, "No, he hasn't been in. He's been in the building opposite. That's where he was the whole night. He never came anywhere near it. So it was open when we were there. It was supposed to be shut. We shut it, put it on the latch. It's
I
open
will
when
say
it's
that
screwed up.
door was
John,
open.
John
when we
is
first got up there.
laughing. John,
I'm looking at Score's face. No, I don't know.
Oh.
I'm looking, it's on you, Score. You go for it.
I think
went in there.
I think somebody may have gone in there briefly.
There you go.
It wouldn't have been me. It would have been a ghost.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
description.
Well, no, I went in the room, but the door was open.
Yeah, I
when
went in the room.
Oh, thank Christ!
And when I left, the
Seb,
door was
Jesus
still open.
Christ!
Sad.
No, I went in there because I saw you in there, and then we turned to each other, and I went, "We're not supposed to be in here, are we?"
Yeah,
And then we left. But
Yeah.
we
Did
did
you
close
open the door? Did you open
Well,
it?
come through.
I mean, did you unlock it to go in? You did.
No. It was. I think it was
It was
ajar
open.
when we went in, but
It was already
I
yeah.
did close it in afterwards.
Did you?
But
I can tell you something
The-
though.
he
On the
did
footage we
mention-
got, when we first went up there, that door shut. When we were actually in that corridor, when we go up there.
They
'Cause the
could have
yeah.
made the same mistake Score made because do you know that they said the next lot said that door was open again.
Yeah.
Score did whisper something to me as we were moving to the second place.
did I shut it?
Okay, we'll forget about the door. Any doubt?
No,
That's
but-
it. We'll forget about that one.
The curator said multiple times that door always opens and shuts itself,
Oh.
and he said
Yeah.
it's even locked itself before. And I said, "Oh, what, like a key turn?" He said, "No, it's a latch. If a door,
Well,
if
the
it's
guy,
a place
the guy
with a
that's
draft,
selling the experience.
That's
yeah,
what
as
I
I
was
said,
just
if
about
it's
to
a
say.
drafty building and it's a wooden door and it's Victorian and it's slammed
End
shut
of a long corridor.
along the corridor, that latch is going to close.
Yeah.
I mean,
Put a hook on it or something.
Also, him saying that he wasn't in that part of the building. I
It
used
was.
to work in a very, very old department store in Southampton. It's literally just been knocked down. It was the old Debenhams that used to be down there. And we used to get workmen that used to come and work overnight. And me working in security at the time, I had to stay from 6 o'clock in the evening till 6 o'clock in the morning. I used to have so much fun. So I even had Halloween masks in there, and I used to literally, if one became friendly with us, I'd be like, right, I'm gonna make you jump this evening, and I'll do stuff, because I'm bored. I've got nothing else to do. I literally have to sit there and watch bloody, I don't know, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, whatever's on telly. I would go off and prat about because I was bored. I'm not saying that the gentleman that was the creator and sat there isn't a true professional and definitely did not go around and prat about. But if it was me, I would. I would 100% do that. I would have so much fun, and I would go.
would,
Oh,
for
that
the
door,
business.
that door
Yeah.
always opens itself. See you later.
How
you
much-
would.
how much passing trade do you think there is at 6 p.m. for a schools museum
Yeah.
versus 6 to midnight for a haunted schools museum?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You've got to say, there's not really a big sign for that school either. They're not.
No.
Like, if you were
No.
passing by, would you see that? I didn't see it at
A
first.
ghost nicked it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's
So
the
one thing
story.
I did see in that office before, obviously I didn't go in there, but when we were kind of potentially in that office, there was a box on the desk containing a
said
big
The
hooded
ghost
cloak.
stuff.
Yeah.
No, it had a
No.
big hooded cloak in it. And I picked it up and went,
did,
oh,
yeah.
yeah. And I was like, that could come in useful, put it away. And it's only now you've said that, I was like, bastards.
I thought he was going to say there was a whiteboard. I thought he was going to say there was a whiteboard with like a plan on it. Right, we're going to make this door creep at 9.
It's turned into a proper
I-
Scooby-Doo adventure. It was him all along.
So,
Just got a
Be
bunch of
scaramatic.
switches, like
Yeah, that's
smoke.
it.
No, because I made myself comfortable because there was a chair, so I had a good sit down. It was a nice, comfy office chair.
You love chairs, don't you, Seb?
I do like a chair. I like to sit down.
And
I'm
it's
a
just
lazy
funny.
git.
It's the same chair that's in the room that your uncle's in.
No, it was a nice office chair. And Ben, I remember just looking around, and I think you said to me, "I'm not sure we should be in here." And I remember just looking around, and it was just like on every single desk there was a laptop, and I just looked at it and went, "No, we probably shouldn't be in here." They probably don't want us next to all their IT kit.
I remember shouting down there, going, "I don't think you guys should be in there."
Yeah,
And
I think
that might be
did
what
the whole.
prompted the
Oh,
conversation.
shouldn't we? Oh, really? Like,
But it's lovely in
Plain
here.
ignorance.
There was one last thing that we got a reading from in that general area,
the
and this
Wi-Fi?
is where we're talking about props. But
Yeah.
there was a creepy ass rocking horse
Yeah.
on that top house shelf,
yes.
and
Yeah.
we did get readings from that. And you know,
I
thinking
did with
back,
my one as well.
mm,
we
Yeah.
got readings
So-
from the metal frame because
Well,
if you actually
Yeah.
we put the EMF reader
Yeah.
up to like the wooden bit, nothing.
Well,
It was the
and
metal
it was
frame.
right
It's all over.
next. When we first got up there, we actually had a reading with a box that was on the same shelf or same
No, it
shelving
was-
unit, and we literally went,
Yeah.
"That's the electrical cable that's running off that wall."
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
one, that was almost like we all got a bit excited with that. But two, they left a dolly. There's a little dolly in a pram up there, which someone said that I think Leighton said that the arm went down after it doing a
It
random
had no
salute
joint
like
to
that.
it,
Scared
just
if it
fell-
went up.
Yeah.
I was impressed he managed to get it to stay up. I mean, we went and looked at it.
Anyway,
That's what she said.
You
Yeah,
said
but
that I
it's-
was being creepy with the children up there. Anyway, so
And I will admit that video of the doll, though, it's a case of obviously it's up and it then falls
Yeah.
down, but it's suspicious that he turns around on the spot and then it falls down, and it all happens off camera. He's
We
definitely
did
knocking
speak to
that
somebody
down.
else. I can't remember who it was, but I think they said they put the arm of the doll up earlier
Yeah.
on. Possibly. I'm sure someone said that they did that.
It's
Like,
also there was
again-
a wobbly floorboard next to the pram that the doll was contained. Actually,
He's a heavy guy as well. He's a heavy guy,
Because-
Leighton,
because yeah,
in the
'cause-
nicest possible sense. But yeah, he could have just wobbled the ground a bit.
Yeah, just it's
If I show you there, you can see. This is
Yeah,
the
you can
footage
see-
of the. See how loose the arm is. It just.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
And
it's
that-
just full.
That was when
Yeah.
you and I were up there trying to play with it to recreate the video, and
Yeah.
the only position that you could get it into where it was still. I remember you and I were both jumping in that spot. We were jumping nearby, and the only way to get it to hold to be there, it's very secure. So jumping, stomping, whatever, doesn't knock it. The only
but
way
if you
I
turn
managed
round,
to
Saying
knock
it's
it.
secure. It took you a long time to actually put it up in that position.
Yeah, but to be
Yeah.
still in that position, it took a lot of effort, and we're jumping and everything, and it does
Mm.
nothing. But then we then go up to the pram, and the only way to get it to knock down was to actually hit the pram and rock the pram. So I'm pretty convinced that if Leighton did genuinely have the hand in a position where it wasn't moving, he definitely knocked it off camera.
Leighton needs to stop making everything
I
salute.
hope Leighton's listening to this because
Yeah.
I want to
Oh.
see her riot.
Or I mean, it was definitely 100% a ghost. 100% a ghost. Leighton definitely saw a ghost do it.
So
Yeah.
basically,
End of.
there's a number of events that happen which we could debunk or claim they were done by, but I still can't see how the things we saw can be explained so easily.
But that's what made it all so exciting. Like, I mean, if you guys turn around to me and say, "Cliff, we're thinking about doing it again," I will be there,
I would
capping
do
out
it.
and going,
I
"I'm
would
coming.
do it.
I'm
I was
coming.
just about to
I'm
say the
coming."
same thing, Cliff.
Sorry.
No, I'm saying that. Look, we're so alike. It's great.
Okay.
So, but next time, would you try and do it somewhere that's not a school,
Haunted.
not a friendly place, somewhere?
oh,
I mean,
Oh, it has to be sinister.
100%.
Absolutely.
something
You'd
sinister.
want some.
I
I
tried
would
to
love
sleep with a
us-
headmaster. I'll do it. I'll go anything.
I would love us to
Fred
find
West's
somewhere,
garden or something.
Oh yeah, the memorial garden. Yep.
but I want us to find somewhere that's got loads and loads of reports of loads of people every time they're in the building or whatever they feel uncomfortable. Professional ghost hunters have been there, and there's been multiple teams, and they've gone, "This is
Can I
creepy."
suggest
There's
one
definitely
then? I know
something.
one
Yeah.
straight off the top of my head. There's one place in Pontefract called 30 East Drive. and it is supposed to be one of the most haunted residential houses in the UK, and many people go there. I mean, it gets booked up, and people like stay overnight. From 30 East Drive, yes, it's made by ghosts.
Does it all smell like licorice? Everywhere smells of Pontefract cakes.
Everywhere, yeah, especially the bathroom.
Well, this is when Dan was saying, about going. You go to a place. We have to go to a place that has a reputation for being haunted because, that's why it's got a reputation, because people say they've seen stuff there. We can't just go to, the local kebab shop and do a séance there. It's not going to work. There's no reports of anything.
But it's got to make sure it's not like when we did our pub crawl of going to the Jamaica Inn, which the Jamaica Inn is apparently very, very haunted, and most haunted went there, and there's of these ghosts, and you go there and there's all pictures of like ghosts on the wall, and there's absolutely nothing there at all.
You go there and it's like Harvester from Hell.
Yes. Yeah.
It's kitted out to still look like it's 1960s, 1970s when all the hauntings were reported. So it's kind of got that aesthetic to it, but you can pretty much just go around do what you want.
Has that been featured on anything? Like, is that there used to be a guy on YouTube used to have called Mellow Bird, and he had poltergeist activity in his house for like 10 years. 5 years. He recorded like constant poltergeist activity in his house. But it was when you had to have 10 minutes to monetize your videos, and his videos would be like 30 seconds, 50 seconds.
He wasn't his custard empire, didn't he?
There was one YouTube channel that they used to be really good at it. I mean, they do kind of like, they have to do clickbait titles and things like that. But there's a couple of people, don't let the name put you off. They're called the Ouija Brothers. Okay. But they went to 30 East Drive a couple of times. If you check out their earlier videos, they're quite good, because they'll be honest that they went through and like very, very little happened, and but they're just sharing the experience.
But that's the thing, isn't it? With almost everything you see online, every ghost investigation, we never see anything. Well, I mean, what we saw ourselves, we'll probably never be able to see it again that day, unless Cliff is the ghost whisperer.
I think it's a very good point here, Steve. There's no evidence of anything.
Yeah. And that's the thing with this.
Thanks, Dad.
You know what? I equate it to like a thrill ride. It's like going to a haunted house ride. It's fun.
Yeah.
And you want to be scared, like a roller coaster.
Totally.
Not quite as octane as a roller coaster, but rapids or something.
As soon as something happens to you, it's like, well, that's that paid for. Thank you. Yeah. It's like you want it to happen. Otherwise, you don't want to go along, nothing up.
I was going to say the pizza was
pizza.
Well, every year I go off to scare mazes. So I've done Tully's. I do Fort Park. We went off to Bristol Way. We did one called Fear last year. But we do that, and you don't. They're actors in suits. For God's sake, I've got a tattoo to me, which is a turnbuckle. That's because I used to sort of do bits in the professional wrestling world. If you didn't know, don't surprise yourselves here. Professional wrestling might well be scripted. Now, I don't go to wrestling shows. I know, disgusting.
No,
I don't go to wrestling shows because I know it's real. UFC or something like that. I don't like seeing people get their heads kicked in. That's not entertainment. But I like to suspend my disbelief. And that's how I very much feel like that whole night went, or whenever I go to any of these scare mazes. You suspend your disbelief and you get that entertainment out of it. And that's what made it so enjoyable.
It's fun.
A lot of wrestlers are dead. Why don't we ever see their ghosts?
Randy Savage. Let's go find Randy Savage.
Yeah, we just
let's go down the local corn exchange and
Warrior just running at you.
You wouldn't want that. There's stories. Anyway,
you don't want that retro gaming wrestler crossover going off. Really, it's probably not the best.
What you were saying there about the experience on the night, again, it was just us six who basically had that experience, and there was 22 other people who didn't have any experience. And how did that happen, though? Why did that happen? How come if it was they set the place up with
why our
signals?
group didn't.
I can, yeah.
You were having too much fun.
But Dan, would you want to come along? Would you go back there and actually look at it and just try to debunk and try to work out why? I mean, go there on perhaps as a different, you go there and say, look, this is what could have caused this. Because in a day we can actually look around and say, look, there's cabling here we didn't notice before. Yeah, maybe there is something hidden. Oh, look, these bricks in the bunker, they've been
Are you saying we just go and like visit the museum in the day, walk around
as customers, perhaps? Yeah.
I want to follow the guy home, the one who runs it.
See if he dresses up.
Yeah, good judge of his character. See what he's like. Is he trustworthy?
Speak to his mom. Make sure. Yeah, that's
it.
Just remember, we have this bit recorded, Dan.
They find him in a shallow grave. That's it.
And just to make it clear, it's Dan Does that said that, not Dan Boo-Foon. So go after him.
Yeah, but Dan, actually, interesting. If we were to do that, I know a chair we could tie him to.
We figured out who kidnapped your parents. It was you all along. Scooby-Doo again. It all comes back to Scooby-Doo.
It's just my dad would be confused. It's just.
So I think we all agree. We would all do it again. We would all find another place and go again as a group. And this time set up properly, cameras properly.
Yeah.
So we can actually.
Before we do that, I've suddenly thought of something about that bunker where we've got. The one thing that I will say, and I don't want to shoot down anything that might have happened. If you remember, there was a tunnel that went to the front of the complex, front of the building that they said they used to use, and it was all blocked off, and you could see where it was, but you couldn't see it. But if there's a tunnel that goes right from presumably close to the street, that goes all the way back to that part of the building, which you then step up because it's on a hill to go to the higher set, it means all utilities will be using that area, electric, water, gas, anything, will be using that underground tunnel to just be running conduits down there.
Well, to say that I could see Dan Boo-Foon there chuckling away because he decided to go into that tunnel, and he can tell you what's in there.
You? Really?
Yeah. So you know how we were told under no circumstances go in the tunnel because it's all blocked off.
This is like the office again.
It was for the storage boxes, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, it was just covered with storage boxes. So, I said I went down there by myself while you guys were still in the classrooms and what have you. Well, I was sitting in there and I was trying to sing Tipperary. There's a long way to Tipperary, not getting anything at all. And then I went, where's this tunnel that we're not allowed to go in? So I went up the stairs, turned the light back on, went back down the stairs, and then and then looked down and went, it's just a few boxes. So I may have climbed into the tunnel, moved the boxes slightly so I could see what was behind it, and all that was behind it was a door, and I was able to just about open the door enough to see behind it, and I put the torch, and all it was just an empty tunnel that goes back towards the girls' dormitory, the main building, and it was just filled with cobwebs and nothingness. And I was like, it's a shame that I cannot open this door further because I now want to go through it to find out where it comes up and really scare whoever is at the other end of the tunnel. I just had this vision in my head that I'd be able to crawl through and it would come out at the headmaster's house or something. And then I'd just be like, hi guys, and then whoever was in there would be like, there's a ghost or whatever.
So let me get this right. We went into a door that we weren't supposed to. We went into a tunnel we weren't supposed to. Score and Cliff were wearing clothes they shouldn't have been. Cliff got into a bed that he shouldn't have got into.
Yeah.
We were the misbehaving ones after all.
We weren't Dutch though.
No, we weren't Dutch.
We weren't there.
And the other thing
and Dan thought his group was crazy. Yeah.
We wouldn't be so stupid as to record ourselves talking about the things we shouldn't have done.
That would have been silly.
That'd be stupid.
We're not going back. It's fine.
And, I'm sure at the moment our podcast doesn't have enough views for the people in Hitchin to be like outraged and go, oh no. They're
never coming back again.
Just in case, my name's Leighton J. Thank you for having me.
But the good thing about that, we went places we weren't supposed to go. We didn't find any like computerized dashboards or circuitry or anything that was like hiding spooky stuff. There's no special effects department behind there waiting for us. They were just empty plain rooms.
Just
even though we were told not to go there. I could see Dad smiling away.
Just you imagine the setup being like a guy in a room.
Yeah,
But all you need is literally a guy with a stick just to tap a wall. That would be enough.
Not 4 times.
Which probably happened upstairs in the classroom. Yeah, definitely somebody knocked on that door. But again, I mean, I still, even after we talk about this, I still can't think how and why it would just be, our equipment all from different sources at different places in the same room, only at particular times, responding to things that were being said. It just wasn't random. And also it wasn't everybody, and everybody had the same. So there's still, for me, as many questions as there are. I can say, yes, it could all just be happened because of, somebody put Wi-Fi on, but it doesn't explain why it didn't happen when other people were there. And it doesn't explain why it happened on different devices and react when there was too many things that just, for me, even I'm still a skeptic, but still like, how did this happen?
And that's what makes it all so cool. That's what makes this so cool, and this is why we'll say.
You could say there's too many variables, I guess, but also that you could say there's too many variables for it to make sense that it's a ghost.
Yeah,
I mean, we could say the other two groups were the controls. They didn't have the same things.
They didn't want it enough.
They did. Well, we did. We were skeptics, and I think they wanted it so much because
you had a skeptic, Steve.
Apart from I saw a ghost.
What did you say?
The first person to get excited was Cliff. I think. I remember as soon as Cliff's radio went off or his EMF, one of the two, it was like, "Oh, John, go!" And then everybody got excited. Everyone just got scooped up into Cliff's excitement. I reckon he's going to take that beard off in a minute, and he's Jeremy Beadle.
Oh, can't do that, Cliff. For the video.
But actually, you're saying that about the excitement before we went up there, when they were still doing the talk about what we're doing. This Dan, he's looking at me going, "Oh, can we go now? Can we go now? Weren't you? You just wouldn't stop." It's like Dan, calm down. It's like, what's wrong? It's like, I want to start. It's like, just calm down. They haven't told us where to go yet.
I was the same. Like, why are we waiting still? I was getting bored.
It's still light outside.
Yes, but it was the whole thing of we had done the tour around the whole place, being shown this is this, and being taught some of the history of the place, and then we're all just standing in that room,
waiting for pizza.
Yeah, but the pizza hadn't even arrived at that point, and we're
waiting for it,
and we're just standing there going, right, what's the plan then? And then we're all just standing in the room going, well, what do we do? And we're just chatting, and that's why
it wasn't just me. Yeah. I'm so glad because I was there. As soon as they told us where we were going, I was like, bang! I was walking out the door. No, I didn't want to wait.
Can you imagine how hard ghost hunting would have been? Sorry. Can you imagine how hard ghost hunting would have been before electricity? Well hard, wouldn't it? You'd have actually have had to have seen a ghost.
Yeah,
and that doesn't happen.
They probably just would have called it living. That's what they did.
We're saying some of the stories that we've spoken about on this podcast so far. It's been a case of you look into it, and all of the sightings and experiences are a long, long time ago, and then suddenly photography, video cameras, modern technologies come along, and then suddenly there's no reports at all. Yeah. And we've dug deep in quite a lot of the stories, like the one that's there's 50 Berkeley Square, the really haunted flat, where there's loads of stories of different ghosts, and then suddenly nothing at all. No reports, only a report from some builders saying
security guards as well.
Yeah. Just going.
Well, that one I know we don't talk about that one, but because it's an old podcast. The actual developers couldn't sell the house. They couldn't sell the property because people found it too weird. And they would actually warn people that this was a strange property and things happening. And it was actually on the market for years because people couldn't sell it.
It's a bit like why in charity shops they don't tell you who's died and closed.
You can smell who's died and can't you, really?
Yeah.
Yes, but we've now found, as a result of the ghost hunt, that there's a whole market for that on eBay.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, only to
stupid. What, the bra? That was Why would you die leave your body and then go into your drawers and find your favourite bra and then think, I'll go in there.
Just
the strangest thing is Tom Chapman, who was there, he immediately afterwards went on eBay to start looking at used listings to see how much it would cost
to get bras. Yeah?
It's like, do I search up haunted bra?
Actually, how much? Because I live in quite a large block of flats, and someone was moving out and has literally dumped all their clothes in our bin room. Haven't even put them in the bins. It's everywhere, and there are bras lying on the floor. And if I could make some money
haunted,
off
though?
that,
30 quid, 30 quid a pop.
Yes, they're obviously haunted. It's why
I
they're
also need to, I also need to have a word with.
You just put it on; it just kept lifting you up. It's like, I don't know. Why would you wear someone's second-hand, your dead friend's bra? Why? Who would wear it? I mean,
covered in ectoplasm.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. And I also need to have a word with Paul because at one point he did go, "Oh, it's a bit warm, isn't it?" And he got out like one of those bottle sprays, and he went, "Here you go," and he sprayed my face with it. I didn't know it was holy water. He's going around with a little bottle of spray holy water.
Yeah, but my eyes. I don't know what was happening with that.
Yeah.
Thing is that he bought that bra for £30, but he provided the box. He provided the box himself, so it was literally just a bra.
What? It didn't even come in the box.
No, it's just
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure he got that box himself.
Oh, he did. He bought the box himself.
Yeah.
So right on this concept, then the ghost is pretty happy to go in a sealed envelope paid for to go via Royal Mail or whatever. Yeah. So what? The ghost is just sat there going, "For God's sake, the Royal Mail's not what it used to be, is it?"
It's a bit like it's a bit like us getting a Flixbus for a holiday.
Go and buy Megabus somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dan, you're still not convinced there's anything.
Even
though we can't. I mean,
have we not done enough to convince?
I think if anything, more of you have turned.
I don't know. Okay, we should have had a vote beforehand. Who's still can't explain it? Who still feels like they can't explain what we saw?
I can't explain what we saw.
I'm happy to say I can't really explain it for definite.
There's a difference between not being able to explain and going.
Put your hand up, Ben. I can see you thinking about Ben. You don't want to do it.
No, what I was going to say is I think I can explain most of it in my head apart from the bunker, because the most logical thing for me is that somehow my piss is haunted. And when I went to the toilet, it went away.
Just explained it.
Because the toilets were directly above the bunker, weren't they?
Yeah. No, it's I mean, I mentioned to Paul, my dad is the most skeptic person you could possibly meet when it comes to this kind of stuff. He doesn't believe in anything paranormal. He's very much against it. However, he did claim to see a ghost once and then refuses to talk about it now because it makes him so uncomfortable. And if you're going to have a ghost story, his one is pretty good for the fact he claims he saw a Nazi pilot in a World War II aircraft hangar, which he maintained World War II aircraft hangars. And when I pointed out to him, why would a Nazi pilot be in an RAF aircraft hangar? How'd he get in there? And he just looked at me and went, you didn't see what I saw. And because my dad, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to challenge you on that. If you believe that much, but you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. And it's that kind of thing that sits in the back of my brain. If I am 100% skeptic, I enjoyed the evening. I really had a fun time. I loved the Georgian hat. It was great. But like, as I said, the AM band stuff on this, there's a logical scientific reasoning behind everything. And if there's not, there's probably one I hadn't thought of that gets there before ghost.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes,
but
the brain is so powerful. The brain can do so many things. And if you want to see a ghost, you're going to see a ghost because your brain will let you.
Yes.
I would like to do another one because I enjoyed it so much, and I don't think I think the act of trying to prove something, and if I ever did see something, and I convinced myself and then refused to talk about it to my offspring one day, that's on me. But at least I've tried to do that kind of thing and give myself a bit of a scare. So yeah, it's I as I say, my hand was up more to raise a question, so I'll just bring that back down. But
I'll say one
it's
last thing
Yep.
before we finish. I thought I saw a ghost as a child. I can remember it now, clear as day. It was my nan in a caravan walking towards me. And I find that is the best evidence for me that ghosts don't exist. Because if I imagine that vividly, then anybody can imagine ghosts that vividly.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Yes, and I suppose you've also got the question of why would your nan specifically be in that caravan unless she lived in the caravan?
No, my aunt and mum were doing a Ouija board beforehand. But so it's
funny
just
'cause
in my brain. I was a scared child,
Yeah.
so I'm thinking I'm going to see something. So I saw something, but it looked real. But it was also very late. I was very tired, and I know it wasn't real. And that's also why I don't believe in a lot of the stories when people say they've seen things.
But isn't this one of those things that you cannot disprove a negative? You cannot prove a negative, can you?
Well, there was only me anyway, so I wouldn't take any one person's.
Well, that's something we'd seen with the stories we're investigating. This on the Boo-Foons is when it's a single person, a story from a single person. That can just
bullshit.
be a story. Yeah. When it's something that multiple people have experienced or seen at the same time, that's when things are slightly different. I know there's mass hysteria. I know there's all sorts of things that can explain that. But, we did all witness these. If it had just been one person and these things went crazy, we could have said, okay, you set them up. But the fact is we all together know that they weren't set up. We didn't mess around with them. And, there's 6 people there who knew we hadn't messed around. We hadn't faked it.
It's the difference between a sole witness and a multiple witness. It's if I may, there's a listing here of the most haunted items ever sold. Number 9 is a haunted bra.
Right.
Sold
Pink
by
one, yeah.
Sold by a Miss Tonya Rose.
No.
But yeah, the spirit is hanging around in a bra, and whoever wears it will inherit her romantic success. She doesn't mention if she died via electrocution.
That's why I put it on. I told you didn't believe me.
Now Dan and the ghost live happily ever after.
I think I'm going to end my bit on one thing. I've just realised that the back, that bunker area, the other side of the wall where the bunk beds were, is somebody's very tiny back garden. And it is quite possible that there just could have been something like, I don't know, maybe like Wi-Fi lights or some other kind of thing just in there. They just happened to be in the, using something in their garden at the same time. Who knows?
CB radio
maybe
antenna.
maybe they were. Yeah, maybe they were late night mowing or something.
I do love her midnight mow.
Midnight mow.
Midnight the mow. I can't even say it properly.
They were probably doing it thinking there had been a break-in at the museum, and they're like, "Oh, we'll just get the strimmer out to figure out what's going on outside."
Yeah.
Or just self-defense.
Or maybe one of those, robot lawnmowers that you get where you put the wires down and it only goes up to where the wires are. So, and that's an EM. That's an electromagnetic pulse, I think, goes through that wire to tell the robot where it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maps it out where it needs to go.
That'll be it.
Debunked.
Well,
yeah.
I'd certainly do I'd certainly go ghost hunting again, but right at the top, Dan, you called me out and said I've had, openly have had some weird experiences that I can't really explain, but I've always been the constant in them, and there's stories to be told in that because I haven't always been alone when those have happened. But the one thing that I will say about some of those experiences, they've been creepy to the edge of terrifying, And what we did in Hitchin was not creepy, and it certainly wasn't terrifying. So that's my knowing how I have felt when I've been in situations where I'm dealing with stuff in the moment. I didn't get any of that, not at all. It was a nice place to be. It was also bluntly. There was
You were with friends.
It's 25 people being noisy. I mean, it was difficult to feel alone there.
We're expecting things to happen, and we'd like check the watch, and it was 10:30. You're thinking it's fucking 10:30. Nothing's happening now. It's just dark.
Yeah, I will say though that when Steve first said to me, "We're going on a ghost hunt and it's all prepared," I was like, "Okay, that would be cool. It would be interesting to see how these things happen and what the equipment is and how it's used." And I sort of went along, and I would have still enjoyed it if it was just Steve and I with a couple of random people. But I will say you guys together did make the evening for me. I think with us getting the group that we were in, really did make that evening something special, 100%. Something enjoyable. Because we did experience some weird things together, but at the same time we were mucking about a bit and having a laugh and a joke, and at the same time we were like John said earlier, we were all sort of buzzing a bit off Cliff's excitement of, let's go for a run. So that's my best impression of you, Cliff, talking to the ghost. But
I was very glad. It's like I've known Score. God, I've known Score 5 years. I've known Cliff a few years now. And it was just like I don't just met Steve and Dan and Seb like that day, but I just kind of went, "Have you got anyone?" They went, "No." I was like, "Right, okay, should we take it?" And I'm so glad that we did that, because I couldn't imagine doing that with anyone else now, really.
100%.
Dan was there as well.
I got to sit there like a child while my parents argued throughout the whole night.
It did look like that.
I do feel bad for you now. Maybe you should have come with us.
You should have come with us. It would have been much better. So hopefully you'll come with the next one with us, Dan.
Yeah, if I can. I will.
Yeah.
Will there be pizza and shortbread?
Let's have pizza and shortbread.
We can certainly arrange pizza and shortbread.
And a couple of curly whirlies.
Very good. The shortbread was very. It has to be the same shortbread. That was good shortbread.
Costco shortbread is not a problem.
That was good. That was good. Did anyone eat the curly whirlies? I was really keen that the Americans got the curly whirlies, because I
take curly whirly. I eat everything.
You won't get those in Hawaii. 2
bags of leftover food back for the SEN kids at the school and the teachers,
which
brilliant. It was amazing until I opened the bag, and in the bottom was one half-eaten cookie that somebody had obviously just. I was like, dropped. Thanks. It was very, very much appreciated.
It was the ghost ate it on the way back.
Well,
excellent.
Thank you so much for coming. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. I mean, it's been it's been amazing. And thanks again for that experience. It was awesome. And the next one we'll get together and do it again. So
brilliant.
Let's do it again.
We've got the WhatsApp group which everyone's part of, so we can just keep the chat there and figure out when we're all free to go and do something.
That's fine with me. I'm changing my number tomorrow.
I have too many WhatsApp groups going on all of a sudden. This is
burner phone.
I said it about the Mr. Biffos things to Paul. I said it's really weird being in one of these groups, because this must be what it's like to have friends.
That's terrifying, isn't
it? It's really good. Thank you so much again. Really appreciate it.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
We'll speak to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay. Cheers.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to yet another episode of the Boo-Foons Mystery Investigators, where today was meeting up with the team from the Hitchin Ghost Hunt. If you haven't done so already, do follow us across social media, and do check out our Patreon, where we have lots of bonus content. New episodes each Wednesday. Take care. Bye.
Boo-Foons, mystery investigators.